your song. I feel your warm breath, I feel your light beating down into my chest. You give me life, you give me happiness, you bring me warmth beating down into my chest. I don't wanna look away or close my eyes, I'll stare until I'm blind. Fill me up with your light till I ignite. I don't wanna be afraid, I'm letting go. I'll swim in the afterglow. Lift me up till I explode, till I explode. I want her, I need her, and I love her. Gleaming light on my face, she holds me, controls me. She's got me bathing in her embrace.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Just chilling here by the fire. It feels really, really nice on my back. The days have been warming up, but it's still pretty chilly, especially in the morning. It's really cold in the morning. Jake had to run into town. We haven't been to town in, well, I haven't been to town in like almost 2 months. It's crazy to think. It's not as hard as I thought it would be, honestly. I'm a very extrovert person. I love people, I love gatherings, I love parties and social events and making new friends and talking to people. So being isolated is challenging, and like when we would go into town, we would probably go into town maybe like once a week, and that was kind of like my sanity, like, whew, we get to go to the coffee shop, we know a couple of friends there, you know, so like I would get that out of my system. Or I would plan to see my family maybe like once a month or every other month, or plan an event or something. So to not have gone anywhere at all, not even into town for almost 2 months, isn't that bad actually. I'm really focusing a lot of attention on myself and working out. I work out a lot more than I used to, and I don't know, like I was afraid at first, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do, you know? And anyway, so it's not that bad. And it doesn't really, I mean, that's the only thing that's different for Jake and I with this whole quarantine virus thing. Everything else is the same, you know, we still go outside and do our thing and work on our projects, and we just don't go into town. But Jake did have to run into town today because we were out of milk and we did need some gas and stuff like that. And he hasn't been to town in I think about a month. So since he's not here, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity for me to sit down and talk to you guys, talk about kind of what I do every day, my day-to-day chores, or my weekly chores. So I filmed this throughout the week because I don't do all these chores in one day. So I just compiled it all into one video. So the first thing that I try to do every day is sweep with 2 dogs and 2 cats. And then Jake and I always walking in and out and doing projects outside in the mud. It gets very, very dirty in here very, very fast. And then with the wood stove, sometimes ashes fly up when you open it and they trickle down and land everywhere. So I really try hard to sweep every day, at least like every other day. And then we always, you know, around our wood bucket area, there's always like wood pieces and dirt and yeah, and then dog hair. Our dogs, and now that it's warming up, our dogs are shedding a lot more, and same with our cats. So there is cat and dog hair all over, and then plus Jake and I. So I really try hard to sweep, and then I'll tidy up the couch, because Jake and I always end up watching a movie or a TV show at the end of the night, and so I'll tidy up the couch and put everything back where it was. I'm a clean person, so I really like to keep it clean, and if I don't keep up with it, then it will be a huge, huge mess. So I pretty much start my chores after breakfast. Jake and I are really big into sitting down for breakfast. We always have like a huge breakfast. We always go above and beyond. We don't just eat something and then go outside and start working on the project. We always make breakfast, have coffee or tea depending on what we're feeling, and we sit down and we just talk about our day, or we'll watch YouTube or watch a show but we always make breakfast. So we pretty much start the day after breakfast, which is really nice. I like that a lot because it gives us a chance to warm up because it's a little chilly. I do all the sweeping and the cleaning up pretty much after breakfast, and then I'll do the dishes, the morning dishes, or maybe the dinner dishes if I didn't get to them last night. And I do the dishes pretty much every time. Jake has his chores and I do mine, which is fine. And I don't mind doing the dishes. It is challenging with the hand pump, very challenging, but I've found my little tricks and that I've developed by using it. But it's hard because the water just doesn't keep flowing. You have to pump it and get your water, and it's just one big sink, which is challenging too. So anyway, it's fun. And I really made a point to put the kitchen sink right by the window so I'm able to look outside. And when our future garden is built, it's gonna look right out into the garden. So I can't wait to have that view. But right now I can see some birds and I see Jake if he's working out there, which is really nice. So I'm not just staring at the yurt wall. So I like that it's by the window. So I'll do the morning dishes, and then after the dishes, then I'll start heading outside and doing the outside chores. And the first one I do is I go to the cat atrium and I'll water I'll fill up the cat's water.
Hi. Want some water? Fresh water?
We were feeding them outside, but now that the bears are waking up, we don't want to attract a bear. So the cats eat inside, but they have their drinking water outside, and then their litter box is out there, which moving the cat box outside was the best decision ever. It is so nice having that outside. Being in a circular yurt that it's not too small, but it's not that big. It just really is so nice to have that outside and in their own area. So I'll go out there and I'll clean that out. And if I need to refill it with sawdust.
Hi. Whoa.
And then I'll sweep, make it all nice and clean in there. And I do that maybe every other day because there's 2 water bowls, so I don't have to fill it every day. It just kind of depends, honestly. But I do that probably like every other day. And the cats absolutely love it out there. We always get a lot of questions like, oh, do your cats even use it? Do they even like it? They are out there all the time, maybe like 3 or 4 times a day. It's really awesome. They really like it. And from my desk, there's a window, and when you look through the window, you can see the cat atrium, and you can just, I sit there and I just watch them, and they're just like, oh, they're just staring off, and they can hear the birds because the birds are starting to come back, and they hear the frogs at night, and they're outside at night, and it's really nice. I feel like they have their own space away from the dogs. Their cat box is out there, like they can do what they want, and they get fresh air, they get to feel the wind and all that. So I think building that was like a huge success for Jake and I for our cats. The other thing that I do is I have to fill up our water jugs from the well. We have 2 blue water containers that we used to fill up when we would go into town. And since we have our well now, we're able to fill up our own water jugs, which is really nice because we're moving one step closer to really fully being self-sustaining. And so now that we have unlimited supply of water, we don't have to rely on going into town for drinking water. It's really nice. We still have our rainwater that we use for doing our dishes, but it's really nice to have that for our drinking water. So I don't fill them up every day. Obviously, we don't go through that much water, but maybe it's like every other day, or when it gets low, when both of the containers get low, I'll go out and fill them up and then bring that in here. So then we have drinking water. Oh, where's your baby? You say hi? Reishi's getting so fat. I feel like Reishi is like Stewie from Family Guy. Like he's plotting to kill me sometimes because like he'll like glare at me so intensely that I think he's just plotting to attack. And then I start petting him and he's like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow because this feels so good. I figured it out. He's like, put me down. But I love you. Since we're still running the wood stove, I am the one that is kind of in charge of doing the kindling. So I will chop kindling when the pile gets low or when we're out in the container, which is right behind me, which is low right now. I'll do that maybe, it's like every other day. It just depends on how much kindling Jake uses. I do the kindling because Jake is the man when it comes to doing the fire. We don't have, you know, central heat. We rely all of our heat from the stove. So when we go to bed, we let the fire go out and we go to bed. And then when we wake up, obviously it's cold. It's super cold. Unless it's like in the dead of winter, then we'll wake up throughout the night and keep feeding the fire, but we don't really need to do that. We're trying to save firewood. So Jake is seriously the best because he will get up first and he'll come down and do the fire while I'm still trying to get the courage to get up because it's so cold. So he'll have the fire going for me, so when I get up it's somewhat warmer. I took the initiative to do the kindling because he gets up and does the fire, which is really awesome, and I very much appreciate that because if I had to get up and do the fire in the morning, I would be cranky all day. Being cold, especially in the morning, is really hard. It's hard to move and it's hard to do anything, but it's getting better and it's getting warmer, which is really nice. Another chore that I do, but Jake also does, we switch back and forth, is laundry. Laundry. That has been the most challenging thing for me. I don't mind doing laundry. If we had a washer and dryer, I would love it. It'd be great. But doing it by hand is seriously the hardest thing ever. And the water is so cold, so I have to wear like thick gloves so my hands don't freaking freeze off. One time I did it without gloves and I had a breakdown and I cried and my hands were so cold. I don't know what I was thinking, but Jake had to take over and I appreciate him for that, but it was brutal. So now I have to wear these big bulky gloves, which makes it harder because you have to wring out the clothes, put it in the wringer, and anyway, so we're still working on that system. So Jake and I will switch on and off with that, and then doing your laundry by hand, every article of clothing is challenging, but we're still trying to figure it out. Some other things that I do that I keep up with is We have a composting toilet, so I have to make sure that there's sawdust always in the garbage can that we put when we're done using the bathroom. And then I use the same sawdust that I use for the cat litter. My life has gotten so much easier here in the yurt now that I have this awesome sitting area. It's so nice for Jake and I to sit and relax at the end of the day or just throughout the day. It's just so much nicer than the setup that we had before. And now we have this amazing kitchen that we just finished a couple of days ago, and I just finished doing like a whole spring cleaning it and relabeling the jars, and I'm telling you guys, it is seriously the best. I am so happy with it, and I just keep staring at it and going, oh my gosh, I can't believe we made that from wood from our forest. Like, we milled all of the planks and all the shelves and everything, and we reclaimed a lot of the wood from the old shelving system thing that we had, and then we also reclaimed some wood from a neighbor of ours. It's just made things so much easier because I'm able to now pull some things out of boxes and actually put them away somewhere. Now we have more room up in the loft, and it's just like, it's so nice. Being organized and clean is just, it's my cup of tea. It's just been really nice, and I just love the way it turned out and all that. So I'll make sure to take the camera over there and kind of do a close-up of everything and the little details. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment something awesome down below, and I will see you